Gira is what I really want to talk about. Gira. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La khayru min al-rijal ghayru ghiratullah." There is no good in a man without this ghiratullah. And this gira, they translate it to mean jealousy, but it's more than jealousy. Example of which, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu. He said that if I see a man talking to my wife, I'm going to kill him. And the Sahaba were like, oh man, we taking you to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his manner, if someone has said, someone did something, said something, he don't say what you do and all that. He said, what is it that they say? You know, it's his manner, it's, you know, his character. Khuluqin adim. He don't want to offend no one. So Sa'd, he said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if I see a man talking to my wife, I'm going to kill him. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have more of this than Sa'd, and Allah have more of this than me. So gira is more than just jealousy. It's like you are transgressing on my right that Allah Ta'ala have given me and my wife. You don't have the right to be with my wife. You don't have the right to talk to my wife. So this is gira. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the man that do not have this gira, he's like a pimp. He don't care who lay with her. He lay with her, you lay with her, he don't care. Scandalous. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he is seeking to marry Salama radiallahu anha, she refused at first. And he's why? She said, I have children. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ya Salama, your children, they're my children. She said, well, I'm jealous. He said, may Allah Ta'ala help you with that. Now, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in some of the jealousy of the woman, it's protection for the man. But outside of that, it becomes haram. Because Allah Ta'ala said, marry 2, 3, or 4 of the free believing women. Now I know in the English translation of Quran, it says, marry 2, 3, or 4 of the believing women. And if you can't, one is best, but if you but knew. It doesn't say that in Arabic. It's meaning marry 2, 3, or 4 free believing women. And if you're unable to marry 2, 3, or 4 free believing women, marry 1 free believing woman, then take from Malakat Aymanhum, take from right hand possession. Because never did it say to marry 1, 2, or 3. Why did Allah start this ayat off 2, 3, or 4? Because the slave, he rates 2 wives. And the man that is free, he cannot have less than the slave. So Allah started off 2, 3, or 4. And in the tafsir of this ayat, it talked that the Prophet ﷺ is married to 13 women, and he had 9 at one time. This is only for him, but the Sahaba, they had 2, 3, or 4. And it's the Sunnah. And then, when we look at the society today, we see so many Muslim women unmarried. But yet the gear of women and the jealousy and lack of sisterhood, because this is the real root of it. You are selfish. You have anania, antipathy. You're unconcerned about anyone other than yourself. You don't care that your sister, that you front and say, I love you for the sake of Allah, have not been married for 10, 15 years. And the masjid, no brothers marrying. You know, there have to be accountability for the women, for the families. How many sisters now, unmarried, have children, and there's no one to care for them, no one to establish a family life. You know, the story that I gave last Juma, remember the man who, he sit and say, I did all of this. He's kicked out of every town. Allah sent Musa, kick him out of town. He's a fasik. But the man, when he's about to die, fall on the rock, and he said, if only I had a mother that would have had mercy on me. If only I would have had a father to guide me. If only I would have had a wife who would love me, care for me, and cry when I'm dying. If only I would have had children to follow my janazah and pray for me and say, oh Allah, forgive our father. He is a fasik. He was a fajr. He was all of this, but forgive him, Allah. And because of this, the Ahlus Samawati wal Ard, the heavens and the earth, they began to cry. And Allah Ta'ala sent the Hiwar to be his mother, to be his children, sent angels to be his father, and also so that this man, as he's dying, he looked and said to him, this is your family. And then the man died with a family. And Allah Ta'ala said to Musa, oh Musa, go to this place, Hadar Ma'dur, Kada wa Kada, this place, that place, because my wali has died. So Musa, he don't know who Allah talking about. He says his wali has died. Musa travels, he goes to see someone dead, he looks, oh Allah, is this not the man I've been kicking out of town in town by your order? Yes. But you call him your wali, you have mercy on him, and Allah Ta'ala said to him that the inhabitants of the heavens and earth, that they had mercy on him. And Allah says, but I am the most mercy of all those that give mercy. Allah forgave him because his heart made tawbah. But remembering, he said, I did this. He said, because Allah have cut me off from a mother, have cut me off from a father, have cut me off from children, my heart had become scorched, had become burned. So he's saying that my disposition is because no one is there to guide me. No one is there to teach me mercy. No one is there to love me, to share the life with me. So now, when you look to the state of this ummah, when you look at the plight of Muslim women, that only the Muslim women have is Muslim men. They can't marry Kafir men. But because Muslim men are not doing as Allah Ta'ala says, Ar-Rijal Qawwamuna 'ala Nisa, he didn't say Ar-Rajulun, he said Ar-Rijal. The men are the maintainers and the protectors of the women. Not the man is the protector of just the woman. He said the men, the maintainers and protectors of the women. Throughout the Muslim Ummah, Bosnia, how many brothers were killed? How many widows, orphans? Kashmir, Philistine, Sudan, Darfur, all over the Muslim world, how many Muslim sisters having to carry the load, being forced out of their lands, carrying their babies on their back and their few belongings, no one to care for. While we sit here, we date and care for women. We going to clubs and pubs, brothers marrying strippers, all of this, but Muslim women are here just waiting and wondering when the brothers going to raise up that we should have Islamic life too. So Muslim women cannot be sitting here so jealous that they are transgressing on what Allah have established. Allah order 2, 3, and 4. It's for the parity in the society. If you want to see the destruction of society, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that when you see the wajah kada fahsha, fa'lu anna azina kada fahsha. When you see contagious diseases spread out, know that fornication is also spread out. The AIDS, all of these things foretold by a prophet. What's the cure? Marriage, family, wanting for your sister or brother what you want for yourself. As the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibbu li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi. None of you really and truly believes until unless you want for your brother or your sister what you want for yourself. Of goodness, being safe from harm, having enough food to eat, having a family. But your jealousy, is it more important than Allah? Is it more important than the unification of Muslims or the establishment and strength of the Muslim family? No, it's not. It is not. Allah Ta'ala Most High says in Surah Yasin, he said those people of Jannah, that they're going to be shugulun faqihun. Hum wazwajuhum, he said them and their wives, ala ara'iki muttaqihun. They're going to be, them and their wives, busy in Jannah having delights, fruits, whatever they call them for. Them and their wives. Them and their wives. Even in the hereafter. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that for the believer, he has hura'in fi sama. There are an-nisa khalqallah bi ghayri wilada. Allah created them without them being born, like we born. He created them for the believing men. And that when the wife in this world here, as not narrated in Bukhari and Muslim and others, that when the wife in this world is giving that believer trouble, those wives from the Hurriyin say, you don't do that to him. He's only with you for a little while, and soon he's coming to us.